Hello! Thank you so much for being here, whoever you are, and thank you me for being here because, to be completely honest, this was not a picture I wanted to work on for the longest time. I did not want to work on this picture. So, this is Checkers. He is a character that I made over 2020. Over 10 years ago, okay, not 20. He was one of my very first original characters, and I just completely forgot about him. As you can see, he's a little edgy. He's just all black with some neon colors. This is just what my art looked like back then, and my characters looked like. Very hot topic. You know, it was a different time. Like I said, 2011. I was a kid / teenager. I was going through stuff. And by stuff, I just mean, I don't know, puberty or whatever. And so I just thought these kind of characters with these color schemes were like super rad. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what his inspiration was. Like, with my two other bigger original characters, I remember Luca, I remember the exact fictional character he was based off of, and Papaya. Papaya came to me in a dream. I remember the music I would listen to when I drew them. This guy, not a clue. I have no idea where he came from, just nothing. I don't know. He's just so lost to me. And I think I probably stopped. The thing is, I stopped drawing him back in like 2013, so I was only drawing him for 2 years at most. But I freaking love this guy. Like, all of the pictures that I'm going to show you on the screen, most of them were from 2011. I drew this guy a lot. Like, a lot. I redesigned him a few times during that year, too. It's crazy. Him and my other two characters were a trio for some reason. Their personalities don't really match up, but whatever. And I guess I just outgrew him because I just stopped drawing him so suddenly. And I still kept, like, my other characters. Luca and Papaya, I kept them. Papaya disappeared for a second, but then he came back. And he was completely different. But then he wasn't. So, I don't know. I just did not care for this guy. I liked him enough to not sell his design, because I think I just couldn't due to nostalgia or whatever. He's ugly. I just don't. Yeah, so that's exactly, obviously. I mean, if you're looking at the title of the freaking video, I redrew my ugliest character, and it's this guy right here. I thought about, like, redesigning him a little bit. I was gonna be like, redesigning my ugliest character, but I was like, how do I redesign him without making him at least a little bit ugly? Like, I just don't think I could make him hot, which not all characters have to be hot, I understand. However, that is, anyways, so I was like, instead of redesigning him, I'm gonna combine the things that I like from multiple of his designs and just squish them into one new guy, and here he is. So because I knew I wasn't gonna get those colors to really blend well. Like, for his hair, man, I don't know. I don't know why his hair looks like that. It just do. So I kept it because that's kind of his thing. I think that's probably the biggest, that's the first thing you notice about him. So I couldn't change that. Why would I change that? And I still kept his horns. So listen, he was a demon, okay? Obviously. He wasn't a nightmare demon. He is now. I redesigned him to be a nightmare demon, but back then he was born a human and then he was damned to be a demon. Don't know why, because he's like a cool guy. I don't think he was evil, but whatever. I gave him horns because all of my demon characters had horns back then. And that was the big thing when I was redesigning, or when I was redrawing him, because my demons don't have horns anymore. But I was like, how do I not give him the horns? It's just hard, man. I live such a hard life, guys. I don't know whether or not to give my original characters horns. But he's a nightmare demon now, so that's why his eyes are gold, because whatever. And it was the only way to make his coat tentacles make sense. So if you've noticed in all these old pictures of him, he has coat tentacles. And they would like move on their own, and he would like hang off of tree branches from them. They were just like more limbs. He was kind of like, maybe he could have been loosely based off of a spider? Possibly. I really do not remember. But it didn't make any sense because he wasn't a nightmare demon, and in my little universe, nightmare demons may be the only species to have the ability to shapeshift, or it's just a really rare ability and they're just one of the better ones at it. I don't know. So I made him a nightmare demon because it just made sense. Why else would he have those tentacle things? And just, man, when I was doing his tentacles, I don't know if I got to that part in the video yet. You're watching it if you are, but I made the back of his coat, the inside of his coat, to have a checker pattern because some of his designs have that. I was really hesitant though. I was hesitating a lot because I'm like, that's a lot, man. That's really Hot Topic 2011, you know? But I had to do it. I had to do it. I have to commit. The same way I committed to his hair, same way I committed to his horns, I had to give him the checkers. I don't know why I'm getting too passionate about this. Same thing with the boots. I don't understand why he has like thigh-high boots, but I had to. I just had to give him back. Obviously the shorts, I never hesitated on that. He always was gonna have booty shorts. Like, that's just, I love him, okay? I love his fashion choice. You know, like, I understand why I love drawing him so much, why I drew him so many times in 2011, because I created him, and even though I only drew him for 2 years, like, I drew him a lot, okay? He's fun. He's a fun guy to draw. I don't know, man. When I'm recording this, I don't know if I'm completely done with the picture because he just looks a little plain and he has a very loud design. And I just don't want to shy away from that. So we'll figure that out, I guess. We'll figure it out. But, yeah, this was really fun to draw. In the end. In the beginning, I hated it. I hated working on this. And then when I got to the coloring part and, like, the rendering and adding more stuff, I was like, this is kind of cool. I like him. I gave him the goopies because I just thought that perhaps nightmare demons, like, you know, if they're like cool and collected and they're like emotionally stable, their shape-shifting would be like perfect, you know, just top-notch. But maybe when they're losing it a little bit or they're being a little too emotional or I don't know, man, whatever they're going through, maybe their shape-shifting ability kind of just like slacks off a little bit, you know, maybe they become a little goopy. So that's exactly why I did hit him, his little tentacles all goopy like that. They, as you can see, like the ones on one side, they still have their shape a little bit, but on the other side, they're just like, one of them is like just straight up goop. Yeah. Fun fact to any of you who even like know any of my original character lore, but do you know how like in the most updated like story how Papaya met Luca on his own somehow when traveling, and then Luca blah, 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 you know the whole thing, right? Yeah, you remember that clearly. Well, in the original story, like back in 2011, Papaya meets Checkers first, or Checkers comes across Papaya, and then he's like, oh dang, you are not in a good shape, I know somebody who can help you, and then he introduces him to Luca. So technically Checkers is the reason why we even have Lucaya originally, okay? So you should be thanking him. But yeah, man, there's this picture. I'm sorry, I'm just changing subjects like a ton of times. I mean, you know, whatever. There's a picture of Checkers. So like the very last picture I drew of him, so that was like in 2013. It's been 10 years now because it was like July of 2013. But the last picture I drew of him, I decided to give him like a human color skin, whatever, like skin color. And I made him super peachy, and I just don't know why, because he does not look good with that skin color. Like, look at him. Ew. He just looks like some guy I knew in high school or something. I don't know. So that's why in this updated picture, I gave him back his, like, gray skin, except I didn't make his skin gray. I kind of added, like, a purple tint because, why not? Gray was too plain. I didn't like it. Listen. To anybody who's watching, do you make original characters? And if you do, how long have you been making them? Because I can guarantee that no matter how long you've been making characters, I mean, unless you just started like this month, okay? But most people have characters they just outgrew or they just forgot. They just don't have any interest in those characters. And do you feel bad about it? out of curiosity, because I didn't really feel bad about forgetting about Checkers until recently, and I'm like, man, I loved him so much. I kind of feel like freaking Andy from Toy Story, and Checkers is like Woody, and he's like, I don't want to play with you anymore. It's so sad. That's me and Checkers. I don't even know how I got to that. But listen, if you have any characters that you no longer draw for whatever reason, pick up a pencil or your tablet pen and just doodle them a little bit. You don't even have to go this far as like freaking reviving them and you're like, I'm gonna bring them back because I feel bad. Who cares? They're just characters that only exist in your head, and then when you die, nobody else will remember them. Don't even think about that though. Instead, just think about how much you care about them and how they helped you in whatever times that you were going through, you know? So yeah, I just think we need to appreciate our characters more. I say that, but I have like 20 other characters that I refuse to draw. But also, I sold a lot of their designs, so that's why another reason why I don't redraw them, because I don't know if they belong to me anymore. It's scary. Why did I sell them? Can I go back in time and slap myself for selling all of my old character designs? Here is my wisdom from this video. Don't sell your old character designs unless they're like super ugly and you for sure are not gonna ever want to draw them ever again. Then perhaps. But if there's even a little bit of love for that design, you better keep them because you're gonna want to draw them again. And my second advice is to not cringe at your old characters. I'm always preaching about not cringing at your old art. Listen, it's okay to cringe as long as you're not like beating yourself up over it. If you cringe but in a like, aw, that's kind of cute way, or like I remember like you appreciate the cringe all you want. Who cares? That you're growing up. You're a different person probably. It's okay. Kind of like how I cringe at Checkers. His old designs, him being peachy, ew. Why does he look like that? But I appreciate what he did for me back then. I had so much fun drawing him. Clearly, I freaking love this guy. And so, I don't know, I kind of like love him because of how much I loved him back then. Does that make sense? Who cares? Alright, this is just getting way too long and it's, I don't know, I'm tired. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was, I don't know, entertaining at all. I hope this inspired you to go and look at your old characters and redraw them because, like I said, man, they're your kids. You might as well just bring them back every once in a while. Feed them a little bit. It's like little Tamagotchis. And then, right, they die, don't they? I never had a Tamagotchi, actually. So, I don't know what I'm talking about. But just give them a little love now and then. Or just appreciate them. You don't have to, like, draw a full body picture like this. But just do a little doodle, a little chibi doodle. Give them a kiss on the forehead and be like, thank you for serving your purpose. And then that's it. That's all. That's my homework for you. Freaking just appreciate what you loved back then. What really made you love drawing? Because I loved drawing this guy. He inspired me a lot. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please be good outlets, and I'll see you at some point. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!